In New York, under certain circumstances, you can seek a modification of child support. In our statute in New York, it specifically provides that there are 3 different ways in which that can happen. Either 3 years from the date an agreement was reached or 3 years from the date of an order from the court. That's one way. Another option is if there's a substantial change in income going upward or downward by 15% or more. Should that occur, that would be another basis and another reason to seek a modification of your child support. Or if there's a substantial change in circumstances, so something other than financial that is a reason to modify the child support, that would be another basis to approach a court and ask for modification in your support. If you suspect that your partner's income has increased by 15% or more, that may be an opportunity for you to seek a modification of child support. The way in which you would prove that is that both parties would be required to produce financial documents. That's one of the requirements in a child support case, that each of you would fill out a financial statement. You'd provide copies of your last filed tax return, copies of your pay stub. And once you have these documents exchanged between the two of you, could take a look and see what kind of change in income has occurred. A parent who is under court order to make child support payments is required by court order to make those payments. So what happens if they don't make their payments? If they don't make their payments, then they're in violation of a court order, and there are ramifications for not complying with a court order. Some of those ramifications may be that the other party can take them to court and get a judgment for arrears, which will accumulate interest until they pay that off in full. Other things that can happen is that they can be held in contempt of court. If they're not already making those payments through the child support collection unit, then maybe the court will now order that all future payments need to be paid through the child support collection unit. And if any payments are missed there, the child support collection unit has a lot of power to take away your driver's license, your passport. They can do a lot of things that will make your life very difficult. So it's very important that if you're under a court order to make your child support payments, to do so. There are some people who are under the false impression that if the child support payments aren't being paid, there's nothing they can do about it. But that's simply untrue. If you have a court order from a court in New York for child support, you have a lot of options available to you. You can go back to the court and tell them that you haven't been receiving your child support, and the courts will implement the law and force the other party to make the child support payments. If the child support payments are already being processed through the child support collection agency, well, that agency will already act on your behalf in seeking to enforce those provisions. Either way, it's important that when you're noticing that the child support payments aren't being paid, you should communicate with the parent and letting them know that you haven't been receiving the child support payments and asking them to come up to date. If they fail to comply with your multiple requests for payments, then it's important to start a proceeding in court so that you can enforce your rights. If you have any additional questions about child support or enforcing child support provisions, please give our office a call. Here at Sabra Law Group, we're here to help you.